we have Nirupama Sanjeev with us on our studio today. Welcome, Nirupama. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Nirupama was #1 on women's tennis in India from 1991.
Yes.
1991, and she was the first woman to win a round in Grand Slam Australia Open.
Yes.
And she is the first mother to have played tennis in Commonwealth Games, and she's the first tennis woman who's written a book about tennis. So there are so many firsts here, Nirupama.
Yeah, I'm really fortunate to have been doing all that, but it all started in Coimbatore when I grew up, where I grew up and where I started playing tennis.
Nirupama, tell me a little bit about your history. How did you start?
My parents, especially my dad, played tennis, and then I had my cousins who played tennis, and my brother, my older brother, my dad started him off with tennis first. So it was just inevitable for me to start playing tennis.
So you were just breathing in.
Yes.
You were breathing in, it was in your genes, and you
Yes.
were breathing in
Yes.
tennis all the time.
So I was fortunate to have my dad. He was himself self-taught. He read books, and he taught me tennis at a young age, and my brother as well. So that's where we grew up, and in Coimbatore we had the luxury of having so many tennis courts as well. There were about 8 to 10 courts very close to where we lived, and so I had the opportunities at a very young age to keep playing this sport.
So did you always want to be a tennis player, or did you just because your brother was playing and your father was a coach?
I don't think we had many aspirations when we were growing up. We didn't think that I was going to play professional tennis or I would do all these things, because girls would just go and learn music or dance. That was just the most common thing. For a girl to go play tennis, it required a totally different mindset, and we didn't plan for it. It just happened.
How did it happen? Tell me.
It happened because when we were playing tennis day in and day out, we had no other forms of entertainment. We didn't go watch TV. There were no TV shows.
No video games.
No video games. So you did this every day, morning and evening. And if you're putting in that much effort, you do get somewhere with it. And soon I started winning tournaments, and once I got to play, in the national championships, I won the under 14. Being a 14-year-old, I actually won the senior national championships.
Wow!
And when I did that, that's when it struck us that this could be bigger than we thought.
So Nirupama, I want to hear the starting story. I hear that you were a ball girl, not the tennis player.
Yes, my dad, he had no major aspirations for me, so he used to take me to the club every day and made me pick balls for my brother when I was little. And for a year or so, I put up with it, and then I said, this is enough. I have to play tennis first and in the end, and I would demand it. I was so stubborn that he had no choice but to allow me to play in the first and in the end. So it started off, me being a ball girl, but it also helped me get competitive. I really didn't want to be sidelined. I wanted to get competitive. I wanted to show him that, I could do it too.
So this is another first, a
Yes.
first female
Yes.
tennis player to have ever written a book.
Yes. It's just a statement of facts as to what I went through in the 90s, the tennis scene in the 90s. And it's also a book that covers a lot of different aspects, like culture, safety for women, vegetarianism. So I feel like it's a really good read for anyone who's interested in women in general, and what we went through in the 90s as a sports person as well in India. So it's not just meant for one genre of people. It's something that anybody can relate to. And I just wanted to put the book out there so people can take some motivation from that.
So what is the message you want to send to our younger generation?
Is to keep working hard. Nothing is handed on a plate. We cannot just expect that everything comes easy. You have to work hard for it. Everyone works hard for it, and it will happen. But it's just that being too result oriented on whether this is going to happen today or tomorrow, it's not really going to work. We just have to keep working hard for it.
So before the working hard, the passion comes.
Yes.
You have to have the passion
Yes.
for something, and the working hard and the
Right.
discipline, all that
Right.
comes along with that. So tell me, what is it that you're doing to inspire the younger generation? I know that you are trying a lot to be a supporting
Right.
coach in India.
Right.
And I believe you are meeting a lot of resistance there.
Correct. Indian Federation is not too open to me helping out the people the kids in India in general, is because it'll just expose them to, you know, what they're lacking and what they're not doing. So, but I'm doing it in my own way. I'm trying to help the kids in my academy, and anybody who calls me, I talk to them. I'm ready to, you know, help them and willing to, you know, look into their child's progress and give an honest opinion about it.
So Nirupama, I wanted to ask you, you traveled by yourself in Europe when you were all of 18 years old. Yes. And that is a big step for a girl to be there by yourself. And like you said, you didn't have the entourage with you, helping you.
Right.
What was that experience like?
That was a life-changing experience. When my mom left me in Luxembourg to train, she did not realize how unsafe it is to actually travel, because the area surrounding me in Luxembourg was very safe. But she didn't know how it was when I traveled to tournaments. She was absolutely clueless, and it was actually very harrowing. Many times, all these train rides would be pretty tricky. And I have a passage from my book. I'll read it out to you.
Yeah, please.
Flying directly from Luxembourg was more expensive, and I needed to save every bit of money I had. With this kind of travel, I also had to quickly learn the importance of being careful. I once was stranded in the middle of the night in Rotterdam, Holland, because of a train strike. Rotterdam, being a port, was known for its notoriety at night. Drugs and prostitution were legal in Holland.
Wow.
At the station, there were prostitutes, drug dealers, and pimps everywhere. It was like a scene out of a horror flick, and I was pretty nervous.
Wow.
But I took my racket out of the bag for my protection. But after a few hours, I got a train out of there safely. So these were just common things that happened in Europe. It happened on a weekly basis. So I had to quickly learn how to stay safe, be out of trouble, and I stopped traveling after 6 or 7 p.m. in the evening after all these experiences.
So Nirupama, I am going to ask you two things. First, most interesting experience you've had, and where can people buy this book?
Most interesting experience, there are too many of them, you have to read the book to really see it. This book, you can buy it on amazon.com, and it should be available in Barnes & Nobles as well. And you can also visit my website, www.themoonballer.com, where you can get a signed copy of the book. So again, it's themoonballer.com.
That's right. Thank you so much. Nirupama, we want to honor you as a woman, a hero, someone who has done so remarkable against all odds. You have achieved so much success. And after doing all of that, your willingness to give back to the community. So we have a little honor here for you. We want to recognize you as Women Now Hero.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for giving back to the community. Thank you so much for breaking so many glass ceilings, or as we said, so many courts.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope you guys really enjoyed our segment. Thank you, Nirupama.
Thank you.